Hey, Stouffville friends, happy April. We're going to talk about the most current stats in the Toronto Real Estate Board, which are the March 2021 stats for Stouffville. Like my other videos, what we're going to do is we're going to compare that with what happened a year ago. Then we're going to look at what happened a month before in February 2021. So a year ago in Stouffville, across all home types. So when I talk about all home types, like my other videos, I'm talking about semis, towns, links, detached, absolutely everything. So 44 total units sold. In February 21, there was 114 units sold, and that climbed to 145 in March. And so just to give you an idea, and I've never really shared this stat before, but there's kind of three stats with the number of sales. So you have new listings coming out, which are just that. They're the new listings that are coming on the market. Then you have the number of sales, which we have shown here. And then you have the active listings. And so what that is out of the new listings, out of what sells every month, what's remaining is considered active listings, right? So when you actually look at the active listings from February and March 2021, they're actually very, very similar. But what's different is we've actually had an increase in new listings coming on the market of about 25%. So there was around 153 new homes came on the market in February, and it actually climbed to 217. So there is more inventory coming out. There is, approximately the same amount of inventory hanging around for the last 2 months after all the monthly sales have happened, but there are more sales. So the buyer demand is still quite strong. Average sale price across all home types a year ago in Stouffville was $925. That increased in February to $1,226,000. If you remember my last month's video, if you were paying attention there, the January 2021 stat was like $1,223,000. So it was, or $1,233,000. So it was quite in the same line. And I actually thought the market was sort of, maybe we were seeing a bit of a top out. It's a tough market to predict. But average sale price for March 2021 is $1,292,000. So the market has climbed again. And again, buyer demand being very, very strong. Sales to new listings ratio, also known as the absorption rate, is a great gauge of the market. It tells us that out of the homes coming on the market, what is the percentage that are actually selling? So a year ago, 40.4%, which would be indicative of a buyer's market, sort of petering almost into a balanced market. A month ago in February, we were 74.5, so absolutely a seller's market when you start getting into the 70s. Currently trending at 66.8, and again, that's a very strong 66 because we've had 25% more listings come on the market in March, but the buyer sales have also, or the buyer demand has also gobbled that up, right? So it's a very, very robust number. Months of inventory remaining. What this tells us is if no other homes came on the market after today at the current rate of buying, how many months would it take or how long would it take to deplete the inventory? So a year ago, 3.1. So a lot of inventory on the market, 3.1 months. A month ago in February, 1 month of inventory, currently at 0.8. So inventory levels still declining in Stouffville, which again, it's simple supply and demand. So as inventory declines, we typically see the price tends to increase, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Sale price to list price ratio was selling over asking at 101% a year ago. In February 2021, we were at 105.6, currently trending at 106.4, so homes still selling over asking. Days on market to get a home sold, 25 a year ago, 24 in February, currently trending at 13. So we've really seen that tighten up in the last month. So what does this mean for buyers and sellers out there right now? If you're a seller, I've said this in my other videos. I mean, I do think there's still a little bit of time left to capture this market, but I think it's only a matter of time before that supply catches up and surpasses the demand, and then we start seeing, I wouldn't say a buyer market, but we start seeing a bit more of a balanced market. We're already starting to see that in some properties that come on the market. Some are selling very, very quick and over asking in multiple offers, but we are starting to see where offer presentation days are not successful. The sellers are not seeing the type of offers they want, and we're seeing the properties relisted. I mean, if you think back to January we didn't necessarily have the data to show the increase in pricing. Well, now we've got 60, 90 days of that data. So the homes that in January were selling at 999 listing at 999 and selling at 1.2, we're now seeing consistent data that those houses have sold at 1.2. So we're starting to see those listings come out at 1.2, which is offering honestly some confusion in the market, because buyers out there, what we're hearing is buyers are still going, well, if it's listed at 1.2, do you still expect over asking, right? And so there is a lot of confusion in the market right now. So I would say sellers, you would be well served to get educated either by myself or another realtor, whoever is your realtor of choice. Understand the market, really get a good understanding of the market so you can make the best decisions for you. And of course, come up with a couple strategies. And when I'm speaking with sellers right now, it's not just one strategy. It's, not every tool works in the toolbox every single time. So it's coming up and discussing a couple strategies that might benefit. Or you might have to do, if an offer presentation date works but it fails, well, what's the next strategy that you're going to employ? For buyers right now, we have seen a recent pop in the market in the last couple of weeks. I'm doing about 6 town-specific market updates each month. So definitely, as I've been going through the month, I've been definitely seeing that, the market has popped a little bit. And I think we are nearing the end of that. Again, no one can predict with certainty. I mean, I never would have predicted the climb in the numbers for Stouffville like that in the last month. But, again, when we start seeing conditions reintroduced into offers, when we start seeing offer presentation dates falter, that shows us that the market is starting to change a little bit. And it's really, at this point, it's almost day by day, week by week. And I think too, something that's not really widely talked about is what the vaccine is going to do when the COVID-19 vaccine gets out there more to the masses. I believe personally that there's been a lot of, and I understand this from my talks with people, is I believe that there's a lot of people that have been sitting on the sidelines, just not comfortable with either A, looking at houses, or B, having people come look at their house, even with COVID-19 protocols in place. So I believe that more inventory will come once the vaccine gets out there, and to the masses a little bit more. So I hope you found this information helpful. If you have any questions about the information I shared here for Stouffville, and you want to look at a strategy to make a change in 2021, what I'd invite you to do is either send me a DM, or I'm going to put a link in the first comment box for my schedule, and you can click on that and it'll actually link you up and bring you up to calendar where we can book a discovery call, or you can actually click the learn more button. So any questions, feel free to click the button or click the